Ideology. It's a word we hear often, but what does it really mean? In simple terms, an ideology is a set of beliefs and values that shape how we see the world. It's a lens through which we interpret events, judge right from wrong, and make decisions. Imagine a pair of glasses. Ideologies are like these glasses, coloring our perception of reality. Ideologies are more than just personal opinions. They are shared systems of thought that bind groups of people together. They provide a framework for understanding complex issues and offer solutions to societal problems. From politics and economics to culture and religion, ideologies influence almost every aspect of human life. Why should we care about ideologies? Because they are powerful forces that shape our world. They drive political movements, spark revolutions, and influence government policies. Understanding different ideologies is crucial for navigating the complexities of our world and engaging in meaningful dialogue. The concept of ideology is relatively new, emerging in the late 18th century during a time of great upheaval and change. The French Revolution, with its radical ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity, shook the foundations of European society. It was in this turbulent context that the term ideology was first coined. French philosopher Destutt de Tracy is credited with introducing the term ideology. He envisioned it as a science of ideas, a way to study and understand human thought systematically. However, the term soon took on a different connotation. Napoleon Bonaparte, a staunch critic of the French Revolution, used ideology derisively to describe the revolutionaries' ideas, which he saw as impractical and dangerous. This negative association has lingered to some extent, with ideology often viewed as a rigid or dogmatic system of beliefs. Over the centuries, countless ideologies have emerged, each offering a different perspective on how society should be organized. Some of the most influential and enduring ideologies include liberalism, conservatism, socialism, communism, and fascism. These ideologies are not monolithic, they encompass a wide range of variations and interpretations. Liberalism, with its emphasis on individual rights, free markets, and limited government, has been a dominant force in Western societies. Conservatism, on the other hand, values tradition, order, and gradual change. It often serves as a counterpoint to liberalism's emphasis on individual liberty. Socialism emerged as a critique of capitalism, advocating for economic equality and social justice. Communism, a more radical form of socialism, aims to create a classless society where the means of production are owned collectively. Fascism, a far-right ideology, glorifies the state and promotes authoritarianism, nationalism, and militarism.
At its core, liberalism champions individual liberty as the foundation of a just and prosperous society. It upholds the principles of free speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of association, believing that individuals should be free to live their lives as they see fit, as long as they don't harm others. Liberalism also advocates for limited government, arguing that the state's power should be constrained to protect individual rights and ensure a level playing field for all. It promotes free markets, believing that competition and innovation lead to economic growth and prosperity. However, liberalism is not without its critics. Some argue that its emphasis on individualism can lead to social fragmentation and inequality. Others contend that its faith in free markets can result in exploitation and environmental degradation.
Section 5. Conservatism preserving tradition and order. Conservatism, as its name suggests, emphasizes the importance of tradition, order, and stability. It values established institutions, customs, and beliefs, viewing them as the bedrock of a functioning society. Conservatives often resist rapid change, preferring gradual reform to radical transformation. Conservatism is often associated with a strong sense of patriotism and a belief in the importance of family, religion, and moral values. It emphasizes personal responsibility and self-reliance, believing that individuals should be accountable for their actions. Critics of conservatism argue that its emphasis on tradition can stifle progress and perpetuate social inequalities. They contend that its focus on individual responsibility can blind it to systemic issues that contribute to poverty and disadvantage.
Section 6. Socialism, striving for economic equality. Socialism emerged in the 19th century as a response to the growing inequalities and social problems generated by industrial capitalism. Socialists believe that capitalism, with its emphasis on private property and profit maximization, inherently creates exploitation and social division. At its heart, socialism strives for economic equality, advocating for the redistribution of wealth and resources to create a more just and equitable society. It emphasizes social solidarity and cooperation, believing that society should work together for the common good. Socialism encompasses a wide range of views, from democratic socialism, which seeks to achieve socialist goals through democratic means, to revolutionary socialism, which advocates for the overthrow of capitalism through revolution.
Section 7. Communism, a classless utopia. Communism, a more radical form of socialism, takes the socialist critique of capitalism a step further. It envisions a classless society where private property is abolished and the means of production are owned and controlled collectively. Inspired by the writings of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, communism posits that history is driven by class struggle. It argues that capitalism, with its inherent contradictions, will inevitably be overthrown by a socialist revolution, leading to the establishment of a communist utopia. However, communist regimes in practice have often deviated significantly from this idealistic vision. Many have been characterized by authoritarianism, repression, and economic inefficiency, leading to widespread disillusionment with the ideology.
Section 8. Fascism, the rise of authoritarianism. Fascism, a far-right ideology that emerged in the early 20th century, stands in stark contrast to the principles of liberalism, conservatism, and socialism. It rejects democracy, individual rights, and equality, embracing instead authoritarianism, nationalism, and militarism. Fascist regimes often arise during times of social and economic turmoil, exploiting fear and resentment to gain popular support. They scapegoat minority groups, glorify violence, and suppress dissent, creating a climate of fear and intimidation. Fascism's legacy is one of brutality, war, and genocide. The horrors of Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and other fascist regimes serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of this ideology.
Section 9. Ideology and action shaping our world. Ideologies are not just abstract theories, they are living forces that shape our world in profound ways. They influence government policies, drive social movements, and shape our understanding of critical issues, from climate change and economic inequality to immigration and healthcare. Ideologies color our perspectives and influence our solutions. For example, liberals and conservatives often have different views on the role of government in addressing social problems. Liberals tend to favor a more active role for government, believing that it has a responsibility to provide social safety nets and promote equality. Conservatives, on the other hand, often advocate for limited government intervention, emphasizing individual responsibility and free markets. Understanding these ideological differences is crucial for engaging in constructive dialogue and finding common ground on pressing issues. Section 10. Beyond the surface. Unmasking ideological myths. Ideologies are often oversimplified, distorted, or used as political weapons. It's essential to move beyond these superficial understandings and engage with ideologies critically. One common misconception is that ideologies are fixed and unchanging. In reality, ideologies are dynamic and constantly evolving, adapting to new circumstances and challenges. Another misconception is that individuals must adhere rigidly to a single ideology. In practice, people often hold beliefs that draw from multiple ideological perspectives. It's important to recognize the complexities and nuances of ideological beliefs. Furthermore, it's crucial to avoid using ideologies as labels to dismiss opposing viewpoints. Instead, we should strive to understand the underlying values and beliefs that shape different perspectives. Section 11. Why ideology matters. Navigating the currents of belief. In an increasingly complex and interconnected world, understanding ideology is more important than ever. It equips us with the critical thinking skills to navigate the deluge of information, identify biases, and evaluate arguments effectively. Moreover, understanding ideology is essential for informed political engagement. It allows us to make sense of political debates, assess policy proposals, and hold our leaders accountable. By understanding the ideological underpinnings of different political parties and movements, we can make more informed decisions about the future we want to create. In conclusion, ideologies are powerful forces that shape our world. They provide us with frameworks for understanding complex issues, motivate us to action, and influence how we interact with each other. By developing a nuanced understanding of different ideologies, we can become more informed citizens, engage in more productive dialogue, and work towards a more just and equitable world.